So the California wildfires just happened to line up perfectly with the potential high-speed rail system that they are planning to put in for these smart cities. This is sort of reminding me of something here, guys. Remember in 2019 when Melbourne, Australia had their wildfires as well? It just happened to line up again with the proposed high-speed railway. You have Smart LA 2028 proposed in December of 2020 with the plan to build a smart city. However, you can't really build a smart city on top of another city. You'd have to somehow demolish the initial foundation. Same thing that happened in Maui with the smart city proposal from March 30th to April 1st of 2023. And then the wildfires take place on August 8th to 11th. Now, what sort of wildfires demolish everything in sight, but leave the trees and the leaves still intact? I mean, like everything destroyed to the ground, yet this bush unfazed. It's crazy that these major insurance companies would pull their policies months before this happened. It's also crazy that the fire hydrants didn't have any water in them, just like Maui. And they just happened to pull $17.6 million in funding from the LA Fire Department 7 months before. Now, I am a conspiracy theorist, and that just means I'm a critical thinker. None of this is adding up. All of this is obvious what's going on. And I suggest you look into this if you're still on the fence. And make sure to like, share, and follow for more. Peace and love.
First piece of advice to you is let's take care of our mental and physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Have you noticed how the LA fires always seem to hit specific areas? Here's a wild theory. Some people believe it's not just nature at work. What if certain locations are being cleared for new high-tech developments or secret projects? Think about it. Prime real estate suddenly becomes cheaper after a fire. Some even claim satellite technology could be used to start pinpointed fires. Could this be a modern land grab disguised as a natural disaster? Coincidence? Or something more? Comment and follow me for more conspiration.
First piece of advice to you is let's take care of our mental and physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Make a bold statement. I'm not scared. I'm going to say what people can't say. If we cut one position, if we close one station, if we close one resource, the residents of Los Angeles are going to pay the ultimate sacrifice and someone will die. And we want to work with you guys to prevent that from happening. And we have the facts to back it up.
Breaking news, FBI arrests CEO behind Los Angeles. Wildfires, what initially seemed like another natural disaster, has taken an unexpected turn. After a shocking investigation, authorities have uncovered a chilling truth behind the devastating wildfires that consumed thousands of acres in Los Angeles, displaced families, and caused immeasurable damage. Security footage captured the exact moment employees of a company, identified as Westland Developments, intentionally ignited the flames. Sources close to the investigation revealed that the company's owner, Richard Graves, had millions of dollars in interest tied to the scorched lands, aiming to transform them into a massive real estate project. The footage was so incriminating, it left FBI agents speechless. Reports indicate that Graves used sophisticated methods designed to mimic natural fires, making it nearly impossible to trace the criminal acts back to him. Experts warn this might be just the beginning. Evidence points to the possibility of other companies being part of a larger conspiracy to profit from the destruction of protected areas. Documents seized by the FBI contain revelations that could shock the entire nation. What they uncovered might forever change how we view environmental disasters.
On today's episode of That's Grits, we got Los Angeles wildfires. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I want to know where the hell are wildfires coming from? Just look at some of these images. These look like straight out of a movie, but these are real. You're telling me we can send billions of dollars to Ukraine to fight a war, but we don't have the resources to stop a wildfire before it burns down an entire part of a city? And we've been dealing with wildfires for a long time, especially in the state of California and places like Canada and all that stuff. PS5 is about to release technology that can make you smell what's in the game, but we haven't invented something to stop wildfires. There's no way. I know I'm ignorant. I'm being ignorant to something. I know, the winds, it's hard to control all that extra shit, but there's no way we haven't invented something that can stop a wildfire before it gets this bad. You can't convince me. This has to be some shit where they're trying to burn down a whole city and claim the land, like reclaim land, bro. You can't convince me, bro. We have too much technology for us not to be able to stop a wildfire from getting like this. Bro, we have the capabilities of building atomic weapons that can take down an entire country with a press of a button. But we can't stop wildfires? Yeah, that's cap. That's grits. You can't convince. Prayers up to everybody in LA and everybody that's been affected by this, because this is...
Please, for the love of God, tell me that I'm wrong. Did you know that in 2028, the Olympics is going to be held in Los Angeles County? But not just Los Angeles County, but it includes all of the northern regions of Los Angeles County. Places which include the Pacific Palisades, the San Fernando Valley, and Altadena. With just so happens to be the place that is burning right now. And then I keep hearing about 2028 Smart LA, which is Governor Newsom's plan to prepare Los Angeles County and all the surrounding areas for the influx of millions upon millions of people that will be coming for the 2028 Olympics. And Newsom has emphasized for a comprehensive recovery plan, which he's calling the Marshall Plan, for, get ready for this, LA 2.0. The entire reconstruction, which would cover over 40,000 acres. I mean, this is just for informational purposes only, but it's coincidence until it's not.
You got to hear what Rogan was saying about these fires just a few months ago.
Talked to this guy who was a fire guy.
For the fire department, he said, there's going to be one day where a fire hits LA and the wind is the right way and we're not going to be able to stop it. It's just going to burn right through to the ocean. He goes, it's just a matter of time. We all know it. I go, the whole city? He goes, the whole city.
Professionals in the government knew this was going to come. Didn't say anything to citizens, and there was zero preparation. So if this prediction so easily came true, imagine a disaster like this happening when they've actually been warning us for years. Please just watch this shit.
A large blackout affecting the entire or a large portion of the United States of America. Imagine what that's like. You walk outside, you turn on your phone, there's no signal. You turn on the faucet, no water. You turn on the fridge, no refrigeration, your food starts to spoil. You walk outside, cars pile up, no street lights. Within 3 to 5 days, the food is gone from the grocery stores. And the trucks that the city counts on to resupply that food aren't coming. The sewage system starts to overflow and contaminates what remains of the water supply, and people start getting cholera. Societal order starts to break down. There's mass evacuations. The emergency responders have now left their positions like many did during Katrina to protect themselves and their own families. The unfortunate news is that the threat of such a blackout is very real.
Now, when this happens, information will be the most powerful thing anybody can have because nobody's going to know what to do, which is why
Number of them are claiming to show the iconic Hollywood sign on fire last night. Some of them show fires surrounding the sign, while others show the sign engulfed in flames. And while the sign was close to last night's fire in the Hollywood Hills, we are happy to report these pictures are all fakes. A spokesperson for the Hollywood Sign Trust told the online magazine The Dispatch the sign did not burn and wasn't even in the line of danger. The Hollywood Hills fire was knocked down overnight and the evacuations have been lifted. If you would like to submit a question to us, just go to 10news.com, click on fact or fiction. We'll be right back.
All right, guys, where do we see a fire? Because I do not see one. It is currently, look at my phone, January 10 at 1:10.
wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No
survival of a single house in an area otherwise decimated by these fires to luck or good fortune. But this woman made a video and it makes me wonder if there's something else that could be at play, but probably not.
So I talked to the owner of this house right here in Pasadena. I talked to the owner. The owner does not have a smart meter on this house, on the front part of his house. There's no smart meter, no smart meter. So the house did not burn. The back house is the part of the house that had the smart meter, and everything in the back of his house is burnt.
So let's start investigating. If you're in California, go to a surviving house and ask the owner some questions and get back to me and we'll make a whole series about it.
With the hazmat, we have found a underground lithium battery storage plant for bicycle batteries that has posed a huge hazard in that area. We are working with the hazmat teams to keep that contained. So a lot of that is just very dangerous. As you just heard, the air quality in some of that area is still very, very high and dangerous.
Newsom!
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water. Letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Due to current events, I figured now would be a great time to tell you guys all about Smart LA 2028. Smart LA 2028 was a plan released in 2019 to redefine and restructure Los Angeles in time for the 2028 Olympics. Smart LA 2028 has many key points, one primarily being the transportation infrastructure to go for a car-free Olympics. Don't just take it from me, however, take it from Ted Ross, the Chief Information Officer of LA.
As a 3-time United States Digital City Award winner, the city of Los Angeles has been investing in the infrastructure, the apps, and the data tools to be a globally recognized smart city. But as technology evolves, so our smart city must evolve too. That's why we have developed our Los Angeles Smart City Strategy, known as Smart LA 2028. Check it out here.
Key points that they're looking to improve are infrastructure and community engagement, which may be hard since there's no community anymore. Some constraints on this project are funding and budget constraints because infrastructure is very important and very expensive. And piggybacking off that, another hurdle is the aging infrastructure. Much of LA's infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and utility grids, were built decades ago and requires significant upgrades or replacement. They're going to have to replace a lot now. With that comes retrofitting challenges. Adapting existing systems to modern standards is often more complicated and costly than building a new infrastructure. How about that? It would be cheaper for them to just build new infrastructure instead of repair and fix the old. Traffic congestion. A lot of people living in LA means a lot of traffic. I guess it's kind of weird that a lot of people won't be living in LA now. Environmental concerns, because a lot of residents mean high carbon emissions from cars and high water usage, which we know LA is already struggling with the water usage because the firefighters said that there's no water to put out the fires right now. The hydrants are running dry. And as we know, wildfires are a big environmental concern. Regulatory and bureaucratic hurdles are a big concern as well because, you know, it's going to be hard getting things approved when there's so many people living and working in LA. And stakeholder coordination. But I guess it's really not going to be that hard to convince people to fix a city that no longer exists. You're just building from the ground up, right? It's hard to get equity and public support because of gentrification concerns. infrastructure improvements can lead to displacement in lower income communities, creating opposition to certain projects. But I guess there's not going to be much opposition now. And the digital divide. Technological integration, because integrating smart sensors to existing infrastructure is very complex. But again, I guess there's now not much infrastructure to have to work with. And public transit challenges, because with everybody living in LA, converting everybody to public transit was an uphill battle. And project timelines were under constraints because so many people live and work in LA. I guess it's lived and worked in LA. Now that you mention it, I'm actually pretty sure that Lahaina was going through the same thing and faced the same issues, right? What a coincidence.